My primary job is to work with people that have swallowing difficulties, and when it first hit, we were noticing a trend where people were having trouble swallowing, mostly because they either stopped eating because they couldn't taste the food, or they would have sore throats and they would have trouble swallowing. So then the nurse would make a referral to me and say, hey, this person's having trouble swallowing. And I'd go in, and at that time, we weren't really infected. We were just wearing the surgical mask, and I'd go in to do an assessment on someone, and I'm like, what's the matter? You can't swallow? And I'm sitting there looking in their mouth, and they're coughing on me.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, I don't know what's wrong. There's nothing that would indicate. And I'd say to the nurse, like, maybe they need to be tested. And then it was after that, it was just one after another. And usually I would be the first one in there to see them because they were having trouble swallowing, which in fact, it was really coronavirus. So at that point, I was really fortunate not to get infected because
you were unprotected and probably face to face with these people. Wow.
No gowns. I mean, you usually would wear gloves to go into a patient room, but just a surgical mask. And that first one, I was pretty much had the most contact with that first resident, and they had put me out of work for 3 days to get me tested because they thought that I had a high infection probability, but I ended up not having the infection. But there are people, I had a lot of conversations with their families, like saying that they're having a lot of trouble eating and they can no longer eat and drink and be safe eating. And, it's the start of the decline to really stop taking foods and liquids, and then the body just shuts down without eating. And I've had some conversations with people on the phone saying, like, I can't imagine what my dad or my mom's going through, being there alone and not having any family. And very understanding, but very sad to hear them say, like, I haven't seen them in 4 months, and I can understand if he's just giving up and letting go and all that.